In this workshop, we are getting to know this prop, fabric, or what Oriental dance calls a veil, a dance veil. This is an open level presentation, although I will say that from my perspective, there actually is a prerequisite for working with fabric, which is a good command of clean technique for arms. If you are brand new to belly dance, or if you just know that your arms are not as strong as they could be, it is in your best interest to work first on arm technique on its own and then progress to veil. As of this filming, I have not yet created arm materials for this platform, but depending on when this program reaches you, they may be there, or if not, or in addition, there is also a very thorough overview of arm technique on my Masterclass program, Beautiful Technique. Oh, look, here's one here. Beautiful Technique is available as an old school DVD, which is nice because it has a lot of detail in the menu to help you get to exactly the right topic. You can also purchase it as an instant video from worlddancenewyork.com or from Amazon or from other places on the internet. Our agenda today is to first talk about choosing the size and type of fabric you'd like to work with. After that, we've got a very quick warm-up for shoulders. Then I will show you how to hold the veil, and I'll demonstrate and break down the movements that I like and use the most. I should say that this is not maybe a totally comprehensive overview of all possible veil vocabulary. It is biased toward my aesthetics and my style, but it should serve either as a good introduction or as a refresher to most of the movements that are in contemporary use, in general cabaret and theatrical belly dance. In part 2, we'll put on music and we'll do a little technique flow segment to try the movements out. Then in part 3, I'm going back into information mode. I'll show you what some different fabrics look like, and I'll tell you a little bit about the history of the prop, about the ways that belly dancers incorporate the prop into their repertoire, and a little bit about what I personally like and try to do when I am working with fabric. The veil I have today is rectangular. It's made of lightweight habitized silk, and it's a standard size. It is 3 yards long, 45 inches wide. These dimensions are going to be okay for many dancers, but depending on your height and your skill level and where you're going to be performing, you might want something different. In terms of length, out here, beyond your extended hands, you probably want at least 12 inches and probably not more than 30 inches of fabric for this little hanging tail. When you're thinking about how long your veil needs to be, the span of your arms is about the same as your height. So take 3 yards, that's 108 inches, subtract your height in inches, and then see how much you're going to have left over on each side, if it's going to give you enough play on each side. I am about 5'2", so I end up with about 16 inches on either side. For me, this is very comfortable. It's easy to control. This is what I would choose for a restaurant venue, a smaller venue where the audience is physically close to me. For stage, I would probably go bigger, probably 4 yards, just for more visual impact, just to make bigger shapes up in the air. In terms of width, this dimension, the veil should span from your shoulder line to somewhere around the backs of your knees. You could also think of that measurement in terms of spanning the distance from your waist to the floor. For my height and skill level, this is fine for me. But when I did first start out, I worked for a few months with a skinnier veil, and I think that was very helpful. So if you're short and you're getting tangled, take some of the width out, it may help. But also just think of that as a training tool. Eventually you should scale up so you'll have a nicer looking veil, but it's a good transitional step, or it could be a good transitional step. If you are using a veil and it's just going to be a costuming element, or you're just going to hold it behind you when you're doing an entrance, then you can use pretty much anything you like in terms of fabric or size or shape. But if you want to do the moves in contemporary veil work, the moves that draw shapes in the air, then you can do the most with this fabric, silk habitai. If it is in your budget, just go straight to a silk veil. Even if you don't have plans to perform, it just gives you the most options. I know that maybe if you're newer to dance, you're a little uncommitted, or maybe you need to have different spending priorities. You might not want to go to silk. If that's the case, you can totally go synthetic. Lots of movements work just fine with synthetic fabrics, and many synthetic fabrics are gorgeous. In the third part of this workshop, I'll show you what some different fabrics look like, and you can consider your options. We are ready to waft, but first we're going to do a quick little warm-up to loosen up the shoulders so that we'll be ready.